The pronghorn antelope, one of the most unique animals to roam the western US, and also one of the very toughest to harvest with a bow and arrow. Antelope have been my nemesis for years. Their incredible eyesight and quick-witted nature have created a great challenge for me over the past 12 years, a challenge that continues on to this day. 7 seasons was the time frame between my first goat hunt in 2011 to finally harvesting my first one in 2019. Although I now have 3 goats under my belt, a large mature buck is not one, and the pursuit for a trophy buck is in full force.
Day 1, I just woke up. You can see the truck behind me. I was just sleeping in the back seat, got some gear organized, just getting light out. I spotted a buck like not very far, 400 yards away, 300 yards. And he's up on this hillside. He's kind of working the other direction, but he doesn't seem to be spooked at all by my vehicle. I think he's so ingrained in what he's doing. He's raking on every single little yucca plant that he can and rubbing his horns on it. So I'm gonna try to go after this buck. He looks pretty nice. He's just kind of running all over like a buck does during the rut. He's just about to go over that hill, so I think I'm gonna get ready and probably head off after him. Good start so far. Let's do it. Just getting closer to where he popped over the hill. I don't know if he's 10 yards on the other side of this hill or half a mile. You never know with antelope, but I'm gonna assume he's close. That way I don't bump him if he is. Hopefully I can get on him. This is an exciting start so far. This buck was bedded at 300 for about 10 minutes. Since then he's got up, walked about 100 to 200 yards to the right. He's just kind of feeding now. He's slowed down a lot, which is helping me keep up with him. If he goes over this next rise, I'm gonna buck it over there and try to get on him fast, but for the most part I'm just gonna be patient. He's definitely seen the decoy a couple different times. I mean, I'm in plain sight right now and he's looked at me 5 or 10 times and doesn't seem to care. Even though he's not running in, at least he's not spooked. That's very important.
The buck disappears over the hilltop, which gives me the perfect opportunity to sprint across the valley and quickly get into range. Got to 70 yards of that buck. He was starting to get a little spooked. I don't know if he didn't like the decoy or he just didn't like me. I was backlit by the sun, which didn't help anything. But he came out in front, broadside at 70. I drew back and he just didn't give me enough time. He was a little spooky too, so I don't know if I would have taken the shot. He might have ducked my arrow, but moved back to like 80. Was there for a second and then just kind of went over the hill, and I haven't seen him since. I'm guessing he kind of spooked out of here and went to the south, but I see a buck and a doe on this hillside that are kind of working my way, and then there's a doe down in the bottom feeding behind me, so there's a couple of antelope I can get after. This buck and doe keep kind of working toward me. They're still probably 3/4 of a mile away almost. They're a little ways away, but it looks like I might be able to slip up close enough. There's a big berm, maybe 80, 90 yards away from where they're at right now, and if I can get to the edge of that and pop over, and if they keep working my way, they might be close enough for a shot by then. But we'll see. It's a little bit risky. I'm just walking out in the open with the decoy up, but you know, this time of year, rut, hunting completely unpressured antelope, I think I can get away with a lot more than I could a lot of other places. So being a little bit aggressive, only having 2 days, trying to make the most of every single opportunity. So I'm going after these 2. Buck chasing a doe, they just came out of nowhere. They're headed right toward those bedded 2 that I'm stalking right now. This might get interesting. This first buck I went after just pushed that other buck out of here and stole his doe. They're kind of chasing each other around a little bit, but that's best case scenario. I switch this decoy back to a buck and hopefully I can get close enough, get inside that buck's bubble, and hopefully he'll come try to chase me off too and come into range. That would be perfect. Big buck just popped over the hill. He's running toward me, he's running toward me. He's coming into the decoy.
And he came in probably 300 yards running toward me. Ended up coming right past me. I drew back and shot, and he ducked my arrow pretty bad. It went way over top of his back. He really moved, not the sound of that shot. It's dead still out. And, you know, I thought there's a good chance of that happening because these antelope are so on edge. But I was going to take the chance. I felt really confident in the shot, and just didn't work out, so I missed that buck. But I see both of them up here on the hillside. They're just kind of running back and forth, and they're kind of spooked from me and the decoy, but not too crazy spooked. They're just kind of running back and forth looking at me. So pretty exciting day one so far. It's 8:45 in the morning, and I've only been hunting maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and already had some really close calls with some really dandy bucks. So pretty exciting stuff.
Clean miss. Went right over his back.
Not long after the miss, I get an excited phone call from Josh, who's sitting over a water hole 20 miles down the road. A buck finally came into range, and he put a great shot on him, tagging out on the third day of his hunt. Once Josh got the meat taken care of and into the cooler, he was eager to drive down the road and film me the rest of the day. As he entered the property, he spotted a nice buck feeding not too far off the road, and we were onto the next stalk.
Yeah, let's go kill him. I think it was just over this rise. We're just gonna pop over and glass it really heavily to see if we can see his horns before he sees us. Down there about 100 yards, just facing the other direction, down toward the bottom, just slowly feeding, completely calm and relaxed. So we're just gonna be really patient, wait for the right opportunity here. He has not moved in 20 minutes. We can make a move on him. He has not moved. You can cut 50 yards. That's what I'm thinking, 40 to 50 if I get him just right. Cut it right on the other side of that. Another clean miss. Thought that one was gonna go a little bit better, but antelope are quick, and I don't know if he ducked it again or if I just missed, but that's a bummer. Hopefully we can find some more yet this evening. We have a couple more hours of daylight. We came down the road 3/4 of a mile, spotted 6 more antelope down here. We're gonna work this drainage all the way around. We've got the decoy in case we need it, but I think we can get pretty close just getting in this drainage. Just want to slip up there. I don't know if we're gonna make it very far without the decoy. Without it.
There's not much cover.
Yeah, I agree. Should we pop it up and just slowly walk up? Let's see. Let's go a little further. Okay. Yep. Head down. What do you want to do? It's probably 130, 140.
They're going to the right.
Can we get in front of them?
I think we are in front of them. It's just two does that I see, but the rest are probably there. They're looking like they're gonna come this direction. They're coming right here. Better get the deep.
Can you see them? Yeah, I see them. It's just looking. There's a buck there too. I just see the one head. Okay. 3 of them. They're all coming this way. I see 4, 5 of them down. Where's that? To the right. I can just see their backs. To the right. Okay. I just see the 3. Just let them get used to us. Is that all in front of us? I think so. Must be. Oh, there's the buck. There's the buck. Oh, right behind them. Yep. Those are at 53. He's walking towards the does. He's kind of coming towards us. He's going to follow behind these does here. Oh, he's going to come close. 56 there. Comfortable. Come closer. I don't know if he is or not. Oh yeah, he is. Stay still. Do you have a range on him? I think about 53. I'm not sure if he's going to come much closer. I don't know if he is. My limb's going to hit the head, but I think we'll get out there if you want. Right there, doesn't it? You're good. So we're going to wait. Yeah. Just wait. Let down. Get a range. He ain't running from us. Let's get up there. There was one circled around behind us.
That buck and his does ran off, and after 2 more unsuccessful stalks that evening, day 1 came to a close.
I just got set up in the blind this morning. Just still getting everything kind of organized. I got in just a little bit late. And there's a buck down there. He's really high in this water hole. He's starting to come quite a bit closer. It looks like he's kind of working his way this way. That buck has made almost a 3/4 loop around me, and now he's kind of behind me to the right. He's probably 400 yards away. He's still walking to the right. He just keeps looking over here like he maybe wants to come in, but he's definitely not committed. He's just kind of running all over the place. I just looked out the back of the blind. There's at least 2 antelope down in this bottom feeding my direction. They're only a couple hundred yards away. They've cut the distance in half from when I first saw them. They're coming closer. They're a little spooked from the blind, but they're coming this direction. as those does were coming closer, they got to about 150 to 200 yards and just really did not like the blind deer. I'm guessing that's why they didn't come in, but they just stood and stared for a couple of minutes, kind of turned around and just fed all the way around me. Ended up bedding on this hillside on the other side of the water tank. That was about an hour ago, and now there's a buck there. Kind of chased him off a little bit and kind of smelling where they were bedded, but he's a pretty nice buck. Hopefully he comes in. These bucks are just running all over the place. I can't see any of the other three that I originally saw this morning, or maybe this one's one of them. I'm not really sure. Two goats just came barreling over the hill, running full speed toward me. I'm guessing it's a buck chasing a doe, but I've got the decoy out in front of me. Oh, they're coming straight in toward me. About 1 o'clock now. These bucks are just running all over today. Another one just popped over the hill. He's kind of coming toward me. I don't know if he's going to come in though. I think they're just looking for does and just running all over the place. I don't know if I've seen this buck. This one looks like a new one. And if it is, it's buck number 7 of the day. He's still out there over half a mile away, but I haven't gone maybe 30 to 45 minutes without seeing an antelope all day. So although they've all been far away, it's been pretty action-packed for the most part. Just looked out the back window. Another buck coming in. I just pulled that decoy because that last buck spooked from it. So no decoy out right now. This buck is walking right toward me. He's only like 250 yards away. Gotta get ready. this point, I'm just completely deflated. Third miss of the hunt. Basically skipped it right off his back. He was so nervous he came into the water, almost to the tank that actually has water in it, this right one. And he was super nervous. Turned around, came back out, gave me a broadside shot at 45. I aimed low because I knew he was going to drop, but I'm pretty sure he just dropped way far down, and the arrow basically just glided off his back. I don't think the broadhead even hit him. I think it just barely, shaft bounced off his back, and he's out there about 200 yards. He has no idea what happened. Well, I went over, got my arrow, and kind of stood where I thought he was. I shot him for 45 because I ranged for 45. I ranged him at 45. He walked to the right, as you could see in the video, and then he walked back left out of frame, and I thought he was still at 45 where I ranged him before. But I'm pretty sure what happened was he was walking toward the tank, which would have been closer to me, and then when he turned around, he just went straight to the left, and I'm thinking he was more like 38 to 40, which is why I missed. I mean, 5 yards difference on a smaller animal like that makes a big difference, and I feel pretty defeated, to be honest. I mean, I really thought I was going to get that one. I thought I was going to get him. He was so nervous coming in, though. He turned away when he came up to the water. I don't know if he would have ever even got a drink or not. I've seen him before where they come close and then they're just too nervous, whether it's the blind or whatever else, probably the blind, and they get out of there. So that's the way it goes. That's bow hunting. The sun's just setting on my last day here. It's been a pretty awesome 2 days of antelope hunting. A lot of action. I was debating whether it was going to be worth it driving all the way out west here for just 2 days, but it was hands down by far worth it. And to anybody watching this, if you only have like a quick weekend or a short hunt, especially this time of year in the antelope rut, it can absolutely be worth it. Either sitting on water or trying to decoy them in spot and stock. It's all a blast. I've seen really good antelope numbers here. I saw 8 different bucks here today. I think 2 of them might have been the same ones. Popped up over hill, came back a couple hours later, but I would say for sure 6 different bucks that are in this valley today. Super glad I came out here for this quick trip. Ended up missing 3 goats, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Learned a lot of lessons. I've been writing them down in my notes on my phone, and I've got like 20 different things I learned on this hunt, which is one of the main goals of every hunt for me, is just trying to learn more about the species in the area and everything like that. One of the most important lessons that I learned, it's kind of been something that I've been trying to do more the past 10 years that I've been hunting antelope, but it's so tough, is getting a good range every single time. And I think that's why I missed that last one. Ranged him at 45. He moved to the right, moved back, still thought he was 45. And I think he was closer. I mean, antelope move so much, especially bucks during the rut right now, but it's so important to get an accurate range, because even the difference between 40 and 45, and antelope aren't really big animals. They're pretty small, and that ended up in a miss for me. So getting an accurate range all the time is just going to be one of my number one things from here on out. Even if I have to let down or range again, draw back again. I mean, if I don't get an accurate range, the chances of me putting a good clean kill shot on the animal is probably pretty slim. So anything like over 20 yards, I'm always going to try to range from here on out. Even if I think I know it, or even if I ranged weeds next to where the animal's standing, you just never know, especially with how much they move. Like I said, could draw back, they could take a couple steps. You might think it's 2 yards, it might be 5 or 6. You just never know. Nonetheless, 2 super fun days bow hunting antelope, one of my favorite things to do. It's been an awesome September, and I can't wait for next year.
If you found this video helpful or entertaining, please consider sharing it with a friend. Antelope hunting has been a journey for me over the years, and I've made many mistakes, resulting in lessons learned. My hope is that sharing these lessons with you will give you the best chance possible at a successful antelope hunt in the future. Thanks for watching.